Hello, 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 folks. Welcome to another edition of Boxing Chit. This is myself, Josh, holding it down. And you know who I'm with, my man, Boz. What's going on, Boz?
Oh, it's really been a beautiful weather here lately. Yeah, that's what I usually start up with the weather. It's very shifting otherwise in Norway, but these last few, 7, 8 days, it's been really incredible, really like summer, which is very seldom it happens in May. So, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
here.
Mayweather there. But yeah, hey, weather's been a little bit rainy here over the last several days, but not too bad
Yeah,
overall temperature wise. So
it
that's
seems
holding
like
the
it's
fort down.
almost everywhere, like almost also in Europe. Much of Europe it's rainy and cold, and but here
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's weird.
Crazy shifts in
Here,
the weather patterns.
yeah,
Crazy shifts. It's insane. But hey,
mm,
as they say, rain, sleet, or snow, boxing has to go. And we had some boxing, of course, this weekend. As a matter of fact, one of the bigger weekends in boxing, probably the biggest weekend in boxing this year, save for Canelo's weekends, of course, when he fights. But that being said, we had the big daddies, we had the full shebang, we had the grand fight of them all. We had a chance at an undisputed world heavyweight champion. And of course, we're going to talk about it. Before that, shout out to my man Stop Motion MMA says, "What's up, guys? It's dropped up in here. Appreciate you there, Stop Motion. Hey, folks, be sure to go check out Stop Motion. Give him a subscribe if you can, a subscription of some type, because he makes video content over there on his end as well. And if you're into history and, of course, MMA as well, get with it. But appreciate you dropping by here, Stop Motion. Great weekend in boxing, of course. But anyway, it was Riyadh season once again in Saudi Arabia. Thereby, we had Oleksandr Usyk, who came in with three belts, if I'm not mistaken, three belts. I believe he came in with the IBA, WBO, and not the IBA, but the IBF,
yeah,
WBA, and WBO title, while
and
Tyson Fury came in as the lineal champion and the WBC champion. And I
yeah,
believe the ring title might have been with Usyk already, or at least if it wasn't, it was on
probably,
the line. But
yeah,
essentially, all of them were. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a chance at an undisputed world heavyweight champion for the first time in the four belt era. First time. No, it hasn't happened since Lennox Lewis. Now, we've always said that it potentially could have happened with Vladimir Klitschko, but of course, the other person holding the belt for a duration of time while he was champion was his brother, Vitaly
yeah,
Klitschko. So they weren't going to fight, and therefore it didn't happen, even though clearly Vladimir Klitschko had a long reign. But this
yeah,
was a great fight here, Boz. I mean, it had the drama that you would expect for a world heavyweight championship fight. We even dropped the
wow,
scorecards there in the mix, which are 112, 115, 114, 113, and 113, 114. If you didn't know, Oleksandr Usyk was able to defeat Tyson Fury, who was a long reigning lineal champion, world champion in the heavyweight boxing realm. And that includes from a historic standpoint as well. Usyk came in as generally the underdog in most regards. And he is, of course, a fighter who came up from cruiserweight to the heavyweight ranks. But now he's made that type of all-time great legacy-defining victory. Want to get your thoughts on that contest there, Boz, and just the overall event and atmosphere.
yeah, wow, yeah. Of course, I mean it was one hell of a fight. Really, I don't think anybody expected it to be that exciting. quite, quite as exciting as it turned out. Of course, I mean Um, yeah, it looked like in the middle rounds, like 4, 5, 6, Fury was gonna take over, and he won those rounds. I thought Usyk won the first three anyway. I know that some people gave Fury the third round, but I gave it to Usyk anyway, and then Usyk came back slowly in the seventh round, which was kind of close. And he, after the eighth round, he was completely dominant. And course, that thing what that happened in the ninth round, that was just unbelievable. I mean, he landed the perfect punch and had Fury in serious trouble, and he did go down briefly. So he is one of, apart from Wilder, I believe. Well, yeah, Wilder might have hurt him something, but not quite as bad. Yeah, I mean, maybe he only has come close to hurting him like Usyk did hurt him.
And were it
And
not for the ropes, then Tyson Fury would have flew out of the ring last night.
yeah, he had no legs to stand on, man, and and so that was a big surprise. Nobody thought Usyk could do that to Fury, and it just goes to show, when you have both the skill and the experience and the heart, and when you are in top shape like Usyk was, then nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible, definitely. So yeah, I thought he won clearly, no doubt about it. Usyk and Fury, of course, he just had a hard time admitting that he had lost for the first time, and but he did lose. He did lose, definitely. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
wasn't able to catch the post-fight interview. I heard it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to blame the decision on the war in Ukraine. That was kind of lame for Fury, and
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you got dropped. You were almost knocked out. What the hell? It was the war's fault or whatever. I don't know really what he was thinking, but yeah, I mean, he did give Usyk his credit in the end, and that was positive. But yeah, I don't know. Of course, now there's talk about maybe a rematch happening, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that there is any sense in that. I mean,
Not
I would rather
immediately. Hopefully not immediately.
no, and I would prefer to see Usyk fight either Hergovic or somebody, maybe even like Parker, Joseph Parker. I don't know,
Oh yeah.
somebody like that. Yeah,
That'd be a good fight.
yeah, of course. So
Yeah, hopefully
that's
we
what
get that. Hopefully we do
I
get a mix of that in some capacity there.
yeah.
Stop motion MMA says he had it 115, 112. Sounds about right there. Stop motion MMA from what I saw as well. Certainly can't go against that. Stop motion says Fury's chin is done and Fury can't hold Marciano's jock strap. Hey, I'm with you there. They were upping Fury up for sure,
Yeah,
like he was the greatest of all time. But I was like, hold your break, hold
yeah,
your horses there, folks. Hold your horses.
definitely. He got too much credit, and when you look at who has he beaten in his career, like two really big names, Klitschko, who was at the end of his
Yeah.
career, and Wilder, the puncher.
Yeah, I've always felt that Anthony Joshua has the best resume in heavyweight boxing. Of course, Usyk is rivaling that now, and Joseph Parker.
Yeah, Joshua. I think, especially now, if Joshua fought Fury, he would have probably knocked him out, destroyed him. I think
Oh yes,
most likely, yeah,
yeah.
and like
Hey,
maybe even 7 rounds or something. I don't know, 7, 8 rounds.
I'm
Yeah.
certainly with you there. Shout out to Max Duran, who's dropped in the building. Says, "Hey guys, what's up? Salute to you there, Max. Hey, appreciate you dropping in, buddy. Always great to see you. Yeah." Good fight for sure, as you mentioned there. Max says, "How about that undisputed fight? How about it there, Max? We are talking about it. A very good one for sure. One for the ages, I guess you can say." Max Duran said he had it 114, 113. Usyk, yep, that sounds about right. I think most had it for Usyk.
Yeah, as long as you had it for Usyk, I don't really care if it was that close. I didn't have it that close. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm with you there for sure. And then Stop Motion MMA asked, what's the difference between the Ring Championship and Lineal Championship? And generally, when you think Lineal Championship, it's kind of mythical in terms of there not being a belt per se, but this is the man who beat the man who beat the man who beat the man. It's essentially going back to John L. Sullivan. So it's like the reign that ties back to him. And then from the Ring Championship standpoint, it's Ring Magazine. And I believe it's tied to when Ring Magazine started doing their ratings I want to say 1926, somewhere in there, between 1922 and 1926, somewhere in the mix there, stop motion MMA. So the ring hands out their championship. But yeah, when you think lineal, think John L. Sullivan, think Jim Corbett, Bob Fitzsimmons.
Isn't it Cyber Boxing Zone that actually issues the lineal championship? At least, no.
Well, I think they take stuff down and probably provide some information or whatnot.
Right.
You could argue that it kind of tied back to the National Police Gazette, who they recognized the world champions back in the day from a media standpoint. But certainly, yeah, it's one of those that, in some sense, it's like recognition almost. It's an established lineage that we can trace back to, those early times there, the 1800s. And I guess if you want to say the first champion for sure, then John L. Sullivan, 1899, when he defeated Jake Kilrain for what was recognized then as the World Heavyweight Championship contest, or you could argue undisputed. But Kilrain came in with the Police Gazette recognizing him as the bare knuckle World Heavyweight Champion, and he had defeated, I believe, Jim Smith prior to that contest. And Sullivan, of course, was widely recognized as the world champion, was the American Heavyweight Champion, and this was like essentially that establishment right there that made it the real deal, baby.
No,
hey, some good history talk right there. I always like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But no, good stuff there for sure. Good stuff. Stop Motion MMA says, I think Fury should do a little bum of the month tour, fight B or C level heavyweight contenders, and retire.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I mean, it's obvious he just could not adapt when he was, Usyk had to adapt after the sixth round, so he did, obviously he took a step backwards, and then, just waited to land the best shots anyway, and he did, and yeah.
Yeah, maybe some of those precious seconds clowning around Fury did were needed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Could have extended his lead or something of that nature, potentially extended his lead or whatnot. But hey, you never know. Stop Motion MMA says the ring and lineal title is prestigious, and certainly.
It's a shame. Usyk seemed to tire a little in the 10th round. Otherwise, he could have maybe stopped Fury then if he had early.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He was winging some big shots that were missing.
Yeah.
That might have added to it right there.
Yeah, but he got tired, obviously. Yeah. You have to, after trying to knock out Fury in the 9th round. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Certainly.
Energy, yeah.
Certainly. Max Duran says, comparing Fury to all-time great heavyweight is disrespect to the all heavyweight legends.
I agree. I mean, what's he done really to be compared to all those greats? Come on, be real.
Right, for sure. I think that some of it was a bit overblown in terms of some of the media coverage and the thoughts surrounding Fury and his legacy. But yeah, from an accomplishment standpoint, he hadn't done great deal to the degree of some of the heavyweights we've seen in the past, for sure.
Yeah, it's not enough just beating Deontay Wilder and then fighting a couple of, subpar opponents, and then, the Nagano thing, and it was just...
not a good look.
Yeah, not a good look. Not
Usyk, on the other hand, Boz became undisputed at cruiserweight, and now he's undisputed at heavyweight, and he went about the transition from cruiserweight to heavyweight in a meticulous manner. He took the time, really started to build his body in a way that he put on the weight properly, and you could see the result in such. He was able to continue to have his sort of movement from a footwork perspective, and that helped to make him a standout there in the heavyweight division. Because one thing, of course, we've always said is that Usyk, with that move up, hey, he immediately became, if not the, certainly one of the best boxers just from a fundamental and technical standpoint in the heavyweight division. And I feel like we've seen that pay off, especially thinking about, and I think it kind of puts this era in perspective in the sense that we've had a lot of discussion surrounding the larger heavyweights, these guys who are 6'6", 6'7", in Fury's case listed as 6'9", and how they compare to some of the smaller heavyweights or heavyweights of the past who aren't as big. And I think Usyk is the prime example of when you put everything together and you're a great fighter, that size doesn't matter as much as some may think in certain situations and scenarios.
Of course not. I mean, it doesn't matter when you are a true great. I mean, and you have the balls and the heart and all that, and the best, like the perfect strategy. The right strategy, anyway, in the fight. Had he been very, how do you say, cautious and just boxed and moved around, then he would have lost. Certainly, he knew he had to take the fight like he did. Otherwise, he would never be. Even if he won more rounds, he would not be given the decision.
Oh
He
yeah,
was given it because he heard Fury got him down and stuff like that. Yeah.
no, certainly. Duran Roberto, Peter, hey, how's it going, buddy?
Hey,
Welcome, joining in. Dropping a comment says, remember, it was a split decision, gentlemen, and apart from the last 30 seconds of round 9, it was a competitive contest. Most certainly. Most certainly. Don't want to take away that fact without
yeah.
a doubt there, Peter. It was certainly a competitive contest, and at points, Fury was ahead. You could say through the early portion, probably by the turn to the middle rounds, Fury was the man in charge in some sense, though it was
Well,
still competitive,
not
and
on my
Usyk.
car, but anyway, maybe
Okay.
after round 7, maybe you can say he was, but
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, and I wasn't scoring, but yeah, I felt that yeah,
that's
I
why,
likely would
yeah,
have gave Usyk the nod there at that turn, but yeah, from what I've seen on some others cards, yeah,
yeah.
it seemed to vary.
I think that's why Usyk really, poured it on in the end because he knew he had to win all the remaining rounds. He knew it pretty much, and yeah. But yeah, I don't really agree. It shouldn't have been a split decision. I mean, somebody have said I seen some
Oh yeah.
comments from journalists and these people saying maybe it could have been a draw, but no way Fury won. I don't think anybody thinks that Fury might have won this fight,
Yeah.
except for Fury himself and his family, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. In terms of that, yeah, I think a unanimous decision, excuse me, would have been
I
proper as
mean,
well.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
you could see it on the crowd. Like when he was doing well, they were all cheering, really loud, the English supporters. But then when Usyk took over, they were quiet, very quiet.
yeah, yeah. That, and hey, that tells a little something right there as well. Stop motion says Fury is definitely a first ballot international Hall of Famer, but the narrative that he beats every heavyweight in history because of his size difference has to be put to bed. Most
Yeah,
certainly,
exactly. Well said.
most
Well said.
certainly. I think he'll go down, just putting it into perspective. And hey, who knows what happens? Say these two rematch, the whole situation could change, the narrative can change. But certainly, when we think about the era, yeah, Fury is going to go down as one of the best of this era, top 2 to 3 of this era, no doubt about it. So hey, nothing to hang his hat on or hang his head on right there.
Yeah. He could have, probably been even better. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll never know if he had
Yeah,
fought the right people, like always, the right opponents.
and not
But I
retired.
think, yeah, his love of, the how to say media and show business and all that really kind of did him in. I think as a fighter,
Oh
probably.
yes. Oh yes, certainly. Certainly, I'm in agreement with you there, Boz. Now thinking about or moving ahead, you mentioned Usyk, the potential for a rematch, which I think we're both in agreement that, hey, that could come later. That would be more ideal. Now, in
Yeah.
terms of who's next for Usyk, so your thought is that Hergovich could be that guy, though I know there have been a number of people who have been in line here
Mm,
in and over the time, but Hergovich certainly a name that is out there and
yeah.
someone who could be
He
deserving
was
of a
supposed.
shot or not. But I wonder if
Yeah.
someone else is ahead of him, say like a Joseph Parker or something like that. What do you think?
Maybe
And
now.
also I wanted to
Yeah.
throw out there the winner of potential Jung versus Wilder.
Wilder. Yeah.
Interesting, right?
And yeah, I mean now maybe Parker has also a good, he has a good case as a a challenger that is very desirable maybe for Usyk, but I think Hrgovic was kind of has been promised a shot at Usyk for a while now, as far as I know,
Yeah,
and
he has
yeah,
been in line for a good little bit.
yeah. So it would be kind of fair to let him have his chance first, and I think he can do pretty well against Usyk because he's not just a big guy, a puncher. He actually can box and he's very tough, and very durable and can but can't punch as well. I mean, he can punch at least as hard as Fury can, maybe even harder. I would say,
Oh
maybe. I
yeah,
don't.
yeah,
So
certainly.
yeah. So he hasn't yet. I mean, except against Zhang, he hasn't had a tough fight. You might say yet, Hrgovic.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
No, I'm with you there. Now, all those individuals aside, how about this? What are your thoughts on a trilogy with Anthony Joshua? Do you think anything changes having seen this kind of new form of Anthony Joshua where he stands now? How do you
Yeah.
think that fight goes? And also, how do you think the public reacts to if there's a third fight with Anthony Joshua?
And Usyk, yeah, you mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
and Usyk.
I don't think Usyk is just the wrong opponent for Anthony Joshua. I think still, I mean, not much has changed. That I mean, but who knows? Of course, you never know. It's boxing, A one punch can change everything, and Joshua has that punch as well. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to see that fight, to be honest, because Usyk has won two fights already, both of those, and but maybe I
Yeah.
mean maybe, or if they really wanted to make that fight, then all right, I would watch it definitely, but
Yeah,
it's not
those
the fight
W's
I would
age well,
prefer.
it seems.
Yeah, it's not the dream fight for me, for Usyk. I
Yeah.
mean, when it comes to Usyk. Hey, Bruce. Hey,
Bruce
buddy.
Gas Boxing Jazz tomorrow. Welcome to the show here, Bruce. Appreciate you there, buddy. Says sends his regards. Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz tomorrow. Be sure to go subscribe to Bruce, folks. Be sure to subscribe. He does boxing trivia, history trivia on his channel, and yeah, I've been able to participate. Man, it's fun stuff. Hey, appreciate you for doing that, Bruce. Yeah, keep it going. Keep it going there, buddy. Yeah, definitely looking to drop by. Hopefully we can get you in one of those as well there, Boz. I think you do well with some of the eras. This past Friday, I believe it was, or Thursday, it was the 60s era there, Boz. I feel like you would have been
Oh,
done pretty darn well.
yeah. I I probably could be, would do well there.
I did all right. So I think you would have certainly handled your own in there. So salute to you there,
Yeah.
Bruce. Keep those coming, buddy. And
Hey,
Edis
Elvis.
Fernandez, salute to you there. Appreciate you dropping in. He
Elvis.
said, salute, guys. Appreciate you again, buddy. Hey, it's always great to have you drop in, drop your opinion as well. Says Edis says that Usyk too good for the heavyweight division. Is he too good for the heavyweight division, or is it really that bad these days? Interesting question right there.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. Well, so far he has proven to be too good. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, there are still some guys he he needs to beat to really like before you can say yeah he is too good for everybody. At
Yeah,
heavyweight.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Hey, Daniel Dubois. Yeah, I don't know if he's too good for everybody there. Daniel Dubois had a pretty solid showing, and depending on who you ask, that low blow was actually a legit body shot and could be considered a stoppage.
yeah, it did look like it was on a belt line to me personally. So yeah, and that
Yeah.
is, I think, that's a legal blow. Should be, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
So
think just in general, if we start to see more of these fights materialize between the guys at that top end, then this is a pretty competitive era in terms of some of the competition out there. It might not be ceiling wise at the heights of in comparable to a 70s or something like that. But that being said, I think we could have some pretty competitive fights based on the bunch that is out there. That is the sort of old guard and the new guard or new heavyweights coming up, your Jared Andersons, F.A. Ajagbas, Caballero, freaking Sanchez, I guess technically
yeah,
still in that mix, and how
Caballero,
they match up with some of these older guys.
Caballero definitely one of those that could give Usyk a really good fight. Also, he proved that last night. Even though Sanchez he had a knee injury, as far as I could see and understand. So that was a pity. He
Oh, okay.
wasn't
I didn't
at
know
his
that.
Yeah, he wasn't at his very best in shape, and
Yeah,
but
certainly
yeah,
didn't look like Caballero was applying that pressure. I said that from the beginning, like, man, he's really pressing Frank Sanchez. I didn't like the way Frank Sanchez looked basically from the opening bell. I didn't know he was nursing, kind of an injury or whatnot, but I did
yeah,
pick him to get a unanimous decision victory leading up to it.
yeah. I mean,
But hey,
so I just lost my train of thought.
oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
Caballero
yeah,
is
he's
really,
talking Sanchez,
I mean,
Caballero.
he was, yeah, has been underrated. I felt now for a while. Everybody has been sleeping on him, but I knew he was very solid and could be very
Oh yeah,
promising. Yeah,
oh yeah.
if he got the right fights and all that. Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to see. It's good to have him there in the mix right there because he adds to the competition for sure.
Oh
Real
yeah.
quick, Max Duran says Fury was landed that uppercut beautifully. Excuse me, and was cruising it to the end of round 9. Yeah, true, good stuff there, Max. You are right because he had some pretty solid head snapping shots that he landed
He
on him.
wasn't cruising until the end of round 9. I don't think you can say he was cruising. Round 8, he didn't really win that round. But yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, hey, varying opinions too, right there. I like it. I like it. Salute to Rodolfo Rivera Jr. dropped in the building. Rodolfo, what's going on there, buddy? Appreciate you dropping by
Hey,
and send this salute.
Wolfo.
Keep it coming. Hey, we appreciate you dropping in here, Rodolfo, for sure. Edith says the buy shot was legit to me. Yeah, hey, a lot of people there. A lot of people it was for sure considered such.
Yeah.
Edith says, I
Oh,
don't think Usyk would do this well in the 80s and 90s. Interesting question right there. What do you think there, Boz?
yeah. I mean, back then you had smaller heavyweights who could move around and defend themselves well and box and, yeah, do stuff. So, yeah, probably he wouldn't. I don't, I kind of agree there. Yeah.
Yeah, some more competition for sure there. You think about him
Yeah.
mixing it up with the Riddick Bows, the Holyfields,
Yeah.
Tyson, of course, freaking yeah,
Michael
a bunch you
Moore.
could throw in there. Ray Mercers and freaking
Yeah,
Oliver
Michael Moore
McCall,
and
Lennox Lewis. It'll be
Lennox
interesting.
Lewis. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also some others like from the 80s. Yeah, we're not
Oh yeah.
gonna.
I think he'd be competitive, but certainly getting to that undisputed status that would be super tough and probably unlikely.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, of course, but still, Usyk has done incredibly well. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think anybody thought that he would even win one belt at heavyweight when he
Right.
entered the decision. Oh well, oh yeah, right, he's gonna get knocked out, like
Yep.
by everybody who is good. But no, of course, he went on to dominate both Joshua. Well, he dominated Joshua really in the first fight and beat him clearly in the second. Now he beat Fury. So yeah, he's done amazingly well. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say I kind of bought into the size narrative a bit because I picked Joshua in both of his contests against Usyk.
I know
And
many
boy, was I
did.
wrong.
But I knew from the first fight that at least it would be an easy fight for Joshua. I mean, I knew that Usyk could win that fight,
Yeah.
but I didn't really, say yeah he's gonna win for sure. No, I didn't. I wasn't sure. Nobody could be sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, good point there. He just said Sanchez came in great shape. People just don't see how hard Caballero hits to the body. Underrated is the right word. Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
his knee was injured. If you could see, there was a bandage on his knee, some kind of dark
Mm.
bandage. He couldn't move well, and he didn't throw many punches either. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that was a pity.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I
Certainly.
mean, Caballero, he hits hard to the body. He did stop Makhmudov like in 4 rounds. That was fucking amazing, man.
Oh
Sorry
yeah,
for
man,
my
chopped him
French.
down, chopped him
Yeah,
down.
I mean, nobody could have expected that.
No,
Holy.
yeah. So hey, he shot up those rankings deservedly so, and this is gonna put him right back even higher up that top 10 status right there. So
Yeah,
Caballero, be on the lookout. Udis says he could
like it.
stop Thanos with those body shots. Certainly. Certainly.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, there has been some good punches now lately. I mean, more and more like Brandon Figueroa. Let's mention him.
Oh yeah,
He's
I
one
like
of
Brendan
those.
Figueroa. He comes
Yeah,
with it. Action guy, offensively for sure.
yeah.
Every
Mm,
fight, basically. Rodolfo says, "Have
very
y'all talked
smooth.
about the Navarrete fight?" No, we haven't talked about that one yet,
No,
Rodolfo.
no, because I haven't seen it.
Yeah, yeah. Mods hasn't seen it. Of course, we saw it, Rodolfo, and hey, good win for Baranchik. That's what I'll
Wow,
say.
what a win!
The fight in
Well, that's
itself
a big.
wasn't as exciting as one thought it might have been, or whatever
Yeah,
the expectations were heading into it. But hey, it was one of those where I feel like the decision could have potentially gone either way from what I saw.
yeah.
And
But you
hey,
you
Baranchik got it.
remember we were talking about last weekend, last Sunday, and we said something about how Navarrete, you weren't sure how he would do at this weight, so because he moved up quite suddenly. I
Yeah,
don't know why, but
and
yeah,
his body was a bit loose, as in it seems like he just moved up. It wasn't like a strategic thinking thing. It's just like maybe you know what, I don't want to make 130. I'm tired of making 130, so I'm going to 135. That's what it looked to be in
yeah,
terms of how he looked in there. But Baranchik didn't have the type of power, I would say, that really put him in any huge trouble or anything.
mm, yeah. Perinchik. I'm not really very familiar with him. I have heard of him, but I can't say anything about him. Sorry.
Yeah, same. It was same here. I think that was probably for a lot. They did show a feature from a number of years back, and with him kind of coming out and joining the pro ranks at the same time as Usyk, Lomachenko, and Vosdik. So he was in a feature with them. It was all four of them, and of course we know those three went on to get world titles, do some big things. And Baranchik, I guess, kind of has been there in the background, but he came in with 16 fights, and that's probably the lowest of that entire bunch. So this was like a spotlight opportunity for him right here, and he ended up coming out on top. And hey, congrats to him. Another belt there for Ukraine. Good night for Ukraine as far as their fighters in action there in winning world titles. So kudos in
Yeah,
that regard.
they have been doing well. Recently Bohachuk he won against Mendoza, and
Oh yeah,
Now it was Berinchik and Usyk now, of course, with
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I thought Mendoza would win that contest, but I still need to watch it. Actually, I haven't seen the actual fight, but heading into it, I thought Mendoza would win. But hey, congrats to Boa Chuck. That his name, Boa Chuck.
yeah, Boachuk, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He had a lot of regard. Offensive fighter there. Can put together some punches and can throws a lot. I saw him when he lost to Brian Adams. That's what made me think that Mendoza would be able to catch him because he could box good enough. But hey, he did his thing. For Edith says, for me, the KO fight of the week must be Norman versus Santione. I know you didn't see that, Bob. But Giovanni
No,
Santione, he beat Alex Rocha and put him right there in top status. So it was a
well, he
interim
lost.
title fight between the two, him and Brian Norman Jr. And Norman Jr., man, he put on and he busted up Santione. His face was bloody, cut,
Wow.
swollen, and he just ended him. And it was a good contest, a good fight.
Hmm,
Santione just
right.
wasn't it. He didn't have enough to pull it off against Brian Norman Jr., who's highly regarded, had a lot of backing and fanfare because he was one of those guys considered a top prospect or whatnot, and this was his moment. So that's one you can probably look back on. It was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, gonna
Uh,
try to find some kind of video of that fight. Yeah.
Oh yeah, certainly. Max Ryan says Tim Bradley said Navarrete versus Morenchik was the sloppiest title fight he'd ever seen. Yeah, certainly wasn't one to write home about there, Max. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
not as exciting as expected. You know, it would have been cool to see Navarrete against William Silva. I think
Hmm.
that would be an action fight right there. But of course,
Maybe Navarrete will return to 130 now. Who knows?
probably should. He seemed to take the loss in stride. Yeah, not really an issue with him. But yeah, he probably could have gone up to 135 in a different manner. And I don't know that he trained his way to 135, which is probably the issue there, you know.
Yeah, he's
Can
like,
be for any fighter who moves up, and it's more so because they don't want to do that work to get down, you know.
mm,
So
yeah, that's what happens often. Yeah.
yeah, Joshua Wood says, Joshua Woods, hey, what's going on, Joshua Woods, a fellow Joshua in the building here. Salute to you there, Joshua Wood. Check him out, folks. Certainly a knowledgeable man there in the boxing world when it relates to the history, especially. Always dropping some pretty solid and good gems.
Mm,
Joshua says, what a fight. Still think the ref helped Fury get out of round 9. Yeah, you know, I would say that, hey, some referees might have stopped that fight. Some, you know.
yeah.
We've seen less situations result in a fighter or in a fight being stopped. You know what I'm saying there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he looked ready to go, So the referee did. You might say he saved Fury there. I
Yep.
mean, but we can, discuss how legal it was what he did, or how right or wrong it was. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, yeah. Certainly it is. But yeah, interesting contest there, Joshua Woods. We've been chatting about it. Very good one, and I think that a lot of people, hey, the boxing world won in a sense that we got a good heavyweight fight, which is
Mm,
something we can always appreciate right there. We just get a good fight. You know, it lives up to the hype in the sense that we get some of the drama, the theatrics, all of that stuff. I feel like we got a good mix of that. And then if you look at it from top to bottom, I guess the overall card was pretty decent. We had a pretty solid co-main event, a very good co-main event. Matter of fact, we can jump into that, which was a cruiserweight title fight. As a matter of fact, and it was reigning and defending. I want to say IBF, or let me see what belts he had.
no, he was stripped, so it was for
Oh
vacant
yeah,
IBF. Yeah,
oh yeah, I forgot they did strip him, which is crazy, crazy.
yeah. IBF, I don't know what's their problem. They strip so many people so easily, man. I mean,
Yeah,
they
insane.
strip. Yeah,
Insane. Yeah, I forgot they did strip him, and they didn't give him much time either when they went about it, which is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
they mostly strip if you are inactive for like longer than 6 months or something. I don't know,
Yeah, and
which is
he
crazy.
and I know they stripped him because he took that fight prior to this. I forget who he was fighting, and they wanted him to fight someone else, but they stripped him
Right.
before he could actually get through that contest, and
No
then
silly,
potentially line up the other one. You
so
know?
silly mandatory probably.
Yeah, yeah, craziness, man. It's freaking craziness. But anyway, Jay Opataya, the man at cruiserweight, against the previous man at cruiserweight, the man that Opataya had beaten a couple of years back in Maris Bridius, the Latvian fighter who long time top level cruiserweight fighter, pretty much. If you look at the last number of years, or the last, I would say 6 to 8 years, when it came to cruiserweight, the top dog was no doubt Maris Briedis. Outside of him, of course, Usyk was there. Then he left, and that made
Yeah.
Briedis the guy. We were talking about that, I believe, Boz previously.
Mm.
But there's always been some pretty solid, overall, very, very good fighters in the mix there. But Briedis is one of those guys that only the best at cruiserweight has been able to beat. And I said, Boz, that in that first contest with Opataya, where Opataya fought through a broken draw, which
Yeah.
is tells you the heart of the guy. I actually had Briedis winning. It was a close fight for sure. But yeah, I
Yeah.
had to look at it again, and maybe it'd be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Far as I understand, yeah, British was ahead. Then they were talking about it last night. He suffered a broken nose because of an uppercut, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And but yeah, I didn't really like the way Opetaya was fighting last night. I thought he wasn't very that effective. He did kind of manage to also cut British and. Having kind of staggered him a couple of times, but I didn't like, in the last 3 rounds, Brady's really kind of bettered him,
yeah,
and had him hurt like more than he had been hurt before that.
yeah.
So yeah, Opetaya was just fighting. He was just running around too much. I didn't like that. He wasn't throwing enough punches either. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, I feel you there. Opataya ended up winning a decision with scores of 116, 117, 111, and 116, 112
yeah.
twice. So he won a unanimous decision. But yeah, very competitive fight. One of the
Well,
stories I
the
know
last
coming
three,
in with,
four, yeah. 4 rounds it was, yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. Certainly, and coming into it, I know one of the things that we were talking about is how Britus would look after being out for so long, because he hasn't fought since he fought Opataya, and
Mm,
whether or not the time off did him well, maybe it did do him well in the sense that, hey, he wasn't taking any damage, and that's less wear and tear here over these
yeah,
last 2 years, and maybe
he's
that's what helped him, because I think we can say, looking at how Britis was actually able to close, that, man, he still looks
mm,
like, hey, he could be competitive with anyone at cruiserweight. And so far,
yeah,
yeah, nobody has really been able to beat him outside of Usyk and Opataya, or even
yeah.
come close, really.
I just wish he had been more active, like
Yeah,
in the first 8 rounds, and he was just too static and just waiting for Opeta to come forward, and then he would block and
so you're pretty much in agreement with the decision, the unanimous decision.
Yeah, I am. I am. It was a right decision. I mean, he couldn't have won more than 3 rounds, I think, or something like that. Maybe four, but probably not more than three. And but that he did kind of manage to do quite a lot of damage to Opetaya in those last few rounds. That said a lot. I mean, I think. And
Yeah.
that's why I was a little, frustrated with Opetaya, that he wasn't able to do more damage to a much older guy who was there to be hit, really. you
Yeah,
know,
true.
I don't know what he was doing. Why played so safe? Come on, man. You are there to win a title, to win your title back. You are not supposed to. You're not defending your title for like the
Maybe
tenth
that
time.
broken jaw came to mind.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe, but I wasn't impressed. He did enough to win. He did what he had to, but I didn't do anything more than that. That's what pissed me off. Pissed me off.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel you there. I feel you there for sure. There, by salute to Dan. Dan, the man in the building. There it says, "Hey everyone, hey, appreciate you dropping by, Dan. Always enjoy your commentary, especially sharing that knowledge on the history of the sport, there, Dan. So salute, appreciate you dropping in, buddy, for sure." Edith says Baranchik took Navarrete to school and showed that Navarrete in 130 is good only because of his size and weight. Hey, interesting there. It is. I like Navarrete. I think he puts together a lot of combination, throws a lot of punches, and moves very awkwardly. Now that being said, yeah, from a fundamental standpoint, he does a lot of things wrong, and you could argue certainly that going up against a top level boxer is going to run into some challenges, like from a fundamental standpoint. But hey, he's showed very well in there, Udis. But that
Yeah.
being said, hey, you might be right. You might be right there. But I don't know. I'm gonna give Navarrete some props though. I like his combination punches and what he's able to do. But size, yeah, certainly you had to think that it was gonna come in and factor in at some capacity at some point, and it looks like it did here to a degree at least. But though Baranchik, yeah, he did. He wasn't a power punching guy, but maybe that speaks to if Navarrete is in with a guy who does have pop there at 135 and what that could mean. So interesting for sure. Joshua Wood says it was like when Ike Williams and Bo Jack had Bo Jack on the ropes but in this case the ref stopped it in Williams' favor and not give Jack a big bit of a breather. Oh yeah, that was a heck of a stoppage there. But I do know what you're talking about there, Joshua Woods, in referencing the Tyson Fury Usyk situation. But yeah, Ike Williams, talk about a heck of a fighter. Bo Jack as well, both of them top level there. And yeah, that was a heck of a stoppage for sure, Joshua Woods. And yeah, maybe that could have changed things in that contest, depending on how hurt, one feels that Bojack was. But certainly, hey, a bit of a breather might
Yeah.
have done a little bit of something to it for him.
I
You see
mean,
that one,
when I
Boz?
think about it, it was a little wrong to give him a count because he had been just down briefly, Fury, and
Yeah,
he got up immediately, and then you why give him a count? He is not down. So I mean, he is in that shape. I mean, if I
yeah.
was the referee, maybe I would have even stopped it. I don't know. He was
Yeah, you
really
can
in
certainly
bad shape.
argue such for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Joshua said, "Well, you can sneeze the wrong way, and they stopped you, stripped you." Lewis, yeah, they stripped you. Yeah, Lewis was the unified champ for what, a few months or so before he
Not
started
very
losing
long.
titles.
Yeah. Like 4 months, five. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, crazy how that is. Dan says, Joshua, I think that referee took his time. Remember, Ike was asking the referee to stop it. A lot of mob activities then, and Ike wasn't going to give Bay that opportunity. I'm thinking there. Interesting there, Dan. Interesting. But yeah, I heard that some of those ties to Ike Williams, as far as some of those outside sources and interests, mobs, I guess we can say. I've heard of that for sure. I don't know the
Yeah.
full details there though, Dan, but I have heard that being tied to him. Interesting.
Mhm.
Joshua says the ref was late. I agree with you there. Jack was helpless. Yep. Ike Williams, so great. Bo Jack too. Certainly, Dan. Certainly. Yeah, heard it was really close. Dan there. Yeah, we were talking Fury, Usyk. I heard Fury thought he won. I didn't see it. Yeah, he thought he did there, Dan, but I think the majority of consensus feels that Usyk got the nod for sure. Even though Fury mentioned that post fight.
Yeah, he did think he won enough rounds, but
Hmm.
yeah. I
Cheers,
agree.
cheers to my mom who dropped in. Says greetings, son and Boz. Appreciate you dropping in there, mother, to check it out. Appreciate you for sure.
Yes.
Then Alexander Campbell dropped in. Appreciate you there, Alexander Campbell, dropping in. Hey, great to see you here, buddy. Says Kozak beat the Looney Tune Fury by 3 rounds. The many rounds Fury won could have gone either way. Crazy runs in the family. His crazy old man hit better the Ukrainian with the Usyk team, low class. Oh yeah, I had heard about that little drama. I didn't see the actual hit, but I knew there was some controversy surrounding John Fury doing something. It caused a bit of a stir, and I saw Usyk's comments on such. This was in the lead up there, Bob. I don't know if you saw that portion of it, but John Fury, I guess, hit butted someone on Usyk's team.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. That was really a disgraceful act. I mean, and he got caught. Good, good. He deserved that.
I never know with John Fury. Sometimes I think he's putting on a WWE act. I don't know. Maybe he's
Yeah,
just really like that.
I mean, a man of his age, he's almost 60. I mean,
Right.
acting like and he picks on the smallest guy there in the crowd, and he still gets cut from that button.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
crazy. But yeah, no, Alex, you're right. Hey, Usyk got that victory, the first ever 4 belt undisputed world champion in heavyweight history. There, Alex. So, cheers, hip hip hooray for sure. That's one notch on the belt right there. So Usyk, we got to give him his props. I think he's gonna go down and be remembered as one of the best for sure. One of the greats, certainly of this modern era, just the way he went about things. Hey, that's a sort of manuscript. Hey, when you really put in that time and work, stay focused, that's the manuscript. Because you wouldn't see Usyk come into a Ngannou contest or something like that out of shape and not taking him serious, So that's a manuscript. Take every fight serious.
yeah, I wonder if the muscles, like the weight from the muscles that Usyk put on, made some significance, in increasing his punching power. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
possible.
Yeah,
Mhm.
possibility for sure there, Boz. Most certainly a possibility. Dan says Fury comes from a long lineage of brawling gypsies. Certainly there, Dan. The Gypsy King. Joshua Wood said, I scored for Usyk. Have to go now. All right, Joshua. Appreciate you dropping by, buddy. Uh, Great having you drop by
Yeah,
for a little bit. Dan sends his
yeah.
regards as well, along with Boz. Mom says likewise. Appreciate you there, mother. Likewise. Thanks for dropping by. Of course, again, Alexander Campbell, just back from Ukraine. We've been helping deliver drones. Awesome, Alex. Appreciate your support there. Yeah, Alex. Hey,
Oh,
standing with you there, buddy.
wow.
Staying with you for sure there, buddy. Good stuff. No doubt about it, Alex. Hey, like I said, it was great having you back. Hey, sometimes other stuff calls, but yeah, certainly understand the dynamic there. So, but yeah, always great being able to chat with you. We've had a lot of good conversations on a number of things, Ukraine, including some of the great boxers that have come out of there. So, Alex, hey, salute to you. Salute to you. Thank you for the service that you're doing there as well, there, Alex. So, great checking you out again there.
The
And
Scottish Kozak.
oh yes. And so Boz, I was gonna mention that, and I guess you may have saw it. Joe Cordina ended up
Yeah,
getting stopped
yeah.
in his contest against
That's crazy. I mean,
a
that
guy
guy.
whose name we couldn't fully pronounce.
Yeah, he had Kakache.
Kakachi. What was
Kakache,
it?
it seems. Kakache.
Kakachi.
It
Okay,
seems like, yeah. I mean, he had 7 knockouts on
right.
his record, 21 wins, I believe. And I mean, only seven by knockout, and he stops Joe Cordina. I mean, that was crazy, man. Even though, yeah, Joe did got hit on a break. So,
I saw that. I saw that. I heard the
yeah,
commentator. So I was watching the fight on my phone, so I couldn't see every second of every round. But I saw that, and I heard the commentator saying that he kind of fought differently after that, or something like
yeah,
that.
he did. But he took too many punches, I mean, and he should
Yeah, he
have,
did.
maybe, he could have probably done more, but I think he was trying to counter punch and, just catch Kakache with the big punch to turn it on all around, but he wasn't able to. And Kakache looks like a tough cookie, and
Yeah.
he's got one loss from before. I don't think that was by knockout. I don't know. I'm gonna check it out. But anyway, yeah, what a great victory for Kakache, and I think they were talking about a rematch, of course, and I think that will be fair because of the controversy, with
Yeah.
so. But I mean, many people. I mean, at least one guy that I know very well. He thinks he has thought for a while now that Cordina might be a little, overrated and
Mm.
too cocky and stuff like that. So maybe this was a good thing for him. Maybe he will, it will help make him a better fighter. Who knows? Yeah,
Yeah. He's I mean, he has the pedigree for sure, and he's had some moments where he's looked absolutely outstanding.
yeah,
But hey, you never know. There, I tell Alex Vega when we were on the fight night scores thing made a good little uh assertion in terms of whether maybe Cordina should have moved up, as opposed
yeah.
to continuing at 130.
He is a big guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
he's 5'9",
yeah, yeah,
and let me see, how old is he now? 32.
yeah,
So yeah, you never know for sure. And man, he had some outstanding moments when he knocked out Ishikawa.
yeah.
Man, that was a heck of a knockout right there. And
Hmm.
it's
Yeah,
like,
he did. He looked good also against Rakimov, but not in the previous fight, which was
yeah,
against that guy.
Ogawa. I mentioned Ishikawa, but I meant
Yeah,
Ogawa. But yeah,
I think.
Rakimov. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
That was an outstanding win right there. A battle
yeah,
gave him that first loss as well. So maybe that was the time to continue to move forward, greener
yeah.
pastures. And
Against Edward Vasquez, he didn't look so good already
yeah,
back there. Yeah,
yeah.
he
And then this
barely
guy,
won.
as you mentioned, not a power guy, and looked like he was really hurting Cordina. From you could see from the look
Yeah, I
on
was
Cordina's face.
surprised. Like, what's going? I was like, what's going on? He's down twice
Yeah.
and then taking more punches against the ropes. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, yeah.
This
Hey,
guy.
that's the same thing I was seeing. I was like, man, he's looking like this dude is really tagging him up, and he's really feeling it. And
Yeah, and I had predicted Corina to stop him late, like in the championship rounds.
mhm.
I never really could have expected this to happen, man.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
sure. A lot of people lost some money on that one. There, buys.
Oh yeah, surely. But as they pointed out, the commentators just before the fight, that this was Kakache's last chance. He was 35 years old, so
Oh
he
yeah,
really, took that chance seriously, and he grabbed it with both hands, you might say, and yeah.
oh yeah.
So
No, I'm with you
kudos
there.
to
So
him, yeah, yeah,
yeah, hey, got to give him his props. He did come in ready to go. Hey, and
mm,
hey, a career win for him right there. Hey, that's all you can ask for when a guy gets an opportunity like that. You come with it all. And it
yeah,
seems like he did that. He came with everything he had. A career victory for him.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I mean, he is from Belfast, and they are known to be very tough and rugged, and
oh yeah, certainly,
warriors with plenty of heart. Yeah,
certainly. So props to him for sure.
yeah,
World champion Anthony Kakashi. So hey, we'll see where he goes from here. 130, I think, is pretty much wide open at this point. Where the belts are spread about for some. So he just adds to the mix there as far as Cordina. Of course, that messes up some bigger name fights that he
yeah,
had been thrown around with. But hey, we'll see what he does. Maybe he does move up from here, or maybe they do
yeah,
that rematch as you mentioned. But interesting.
yeah. Maybe, yeah. His problem is he's been just relying on his own, like because he's a quite of flashy kind of fighter, and
Yeah.
with the way he moves, he kind of reminds me of Roy Jones Jr. A little bit,
Oh yeah, yeah. I
kind of
got you.
really.
Yeah.
likes to dance, you might say, even. And yeah,
No,
but
yeah, no, I'm with you. When he's putting it all together, man, he has the look and everything. But yeah,
yeah, like dun, dun, dun,
yeah,
dun.
he just, and he's highly regarded, coming out of the amateurs for sure. So it's a
Yeah,
minor setback. We'll see how he can bounce back.
yeah, it happens. Yeah, I mean, just like when Jose Napolis, he lost to
Oh yeah,
Billy Backus, but he later knocked him out in the rematch. So
yeah. I haven't seen that one. I need to check it out there.
yeah,
Napolis, yeah,
he got
excellent
cut up.
fighter.
Yeah, he was cut, so he lost the first fight.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Hey, maybe he can come back. Maybe Cordina can make a meteoric rise in his comeback and stamp his
Yeah,
name in the game in that same sense.
he
You
will be looking to avenge that loss, I think, bro. Yeah, surely.
know. Yep. Yep. I can see that. So, yeah, I was looking at the other thing. We kind of spoke to it, Caballero Sanchez. But that being said, I wanted to ask, what do you think about Caballero next? Who'd you like to see Caballero in there with?
Wow, that's a good question. Who could he fight next? Of course, there's also we can mention Parker and uh, let's. I gotta think. I mean, what's his name? Jared Anderson, maybe even. Who knows? I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
that'd be a good
one of
fight.
those.
Tough
Yeah,
for
so
Anderson for sure.
he should focus on getting as big fights as possible now. There's no point of going back fighting mediocre guys.
Yeah,
So
certainly.
yeah,
Yeah,
he doesn't have forever, in his prime. So I don't know how old he's. I think he's also kind of around 30, isn't he, or something?
oh
Let
yeah.
me see. I think he's at least close to 30.
No,
Uh,
yeah. And I know
he
he fought a lot in
is
Germany, right?
31 actually. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So now's the time in his prime. Let's
Yeah.
get it.
Now is the time, really. I mean, he
He might
can't.
not get any better than where he is now in terms of just thinking about prime, knocking off these guys that people weren't
Yeah.
picking him against. Now's the time for him for sure. So hey, I'm with you.
Mm.
Salute.
Oh, flag boxing.
Black boxing in the
Anybody?
building. Hey, black boxing. Appreciate you dropping by there, buddy. Hey, Flat Boxing. Check him out, folks. Go
Good
subscribe
to see you
to Flat
always, buddy.
Boxing. Got some pretty
Uh,
solid historic videos there. And yeah, always appreciate dropping by Flat Boxing's channel. So do me a favor, those listening right now, head to Flat Boxing on YouTube at Flat Boxing. That's FLAK, and subscribe. You see, he's got a Joe Lewis in his profile picture there.
hmm.
The man himself at heavyweight, the great Joe Lewis. So appreciate you dropping by there, Flat Boxing. Yeah, we're kind of talking about some of the things that happened this past weekend. Pretty much
Yeah.
got to the majority of them there. Isaac Chamberlain got a first round stoppage victory. Sergey
Yeah. And
Kovalev still around there by
yeah, he
Sergey
lost. He
Kovalev.
didn't look good. Yeah, he didn't look good in that fight. And that's kind of what I expected, even though I thought maybe he could pull it or pull through somehow. But yeah, the other guy was just too young, too good for him, too strong.
Yeah. So maybe that's
Yeah,
it for Kovalev. Maybe he finally hangs him up.
I hope so. He's 41, so what does he have left to win? I don't think he can do anything more. And yeah, except get beat up more. And I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's not beating Jay Opataya.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
that's for sure. And also Moses Sitoma, he scored another
oh yeah.
impressive knockout in the second round this time against Ilya Mezenchev. Yeah.
Okay, I need to check that out. Yeah, I
Who
heard
is
that.
not some bum. He had a record of 25-3, I believe. Yeah,
Oh yeah, he
before
had
this.
some experience. I did see that he
Yeah.
had some experience on his side. So
Mm,
I know that I was thinking it probably would have gone the distance.
yeah. But
So that's
yeah,
good.
Thomas was he actually hit him on the temple, so that's why it didn't last very long. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Those
Yeah.
shots are really, yeah, really painful. Wow.
Okay, yeah, and Isaac Lowe I saw got a victory as well back in the win. Oh, well, I think he was already
Oh
back
yeah,
in the
that's the
win.
only fight I didn't really watch. I only caught a little bit of it, but yeah, I think he won on points.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, yeah, no, that's good stuff there, Bob. So, looking ahead, real quick, diving here as we look ahead, on the boxing schedule. So, it looks like on the 23rd, which is a Thursday, the Zone is going to be hosting Frank
Oh yeah,
or Jermaine Franklin. He's going to be making a return. This is going down in Detroit. He's going to be taking on a heavyweight by the name of Vargas, like a journeyman heavyweight here. His name is Devin Vargas. I don't know that I know him. But Jermaine
yeah,
Franklin making a return. Of course, you know, he's been out there, fought Anthony Joshua, and someone else beat him. I can't remember who that was. I don't know if that was Jared Anderson or somebody beat him. Not Jared Anderson, but
Dillian White, but
Dillian White. Okay,
that
yeah.
was a good controversial decision, very controversial.
Oh, yeah, controversial for sure. Yeah, that's one we definitely yeah, I recall, yeah, there being some controversy surrounding it.
Yeah,
Yuta says it told me it's dangerous and only 19. Oh yeah, that is pretty crazy. He's
mm,
19. Wow, so sky's the
yeah.
limit in some sense, you know, when you think about it from that perspective, right? So
It looks like
um
he's filling out physically now. Also, like he last year, he didn't look so big, body
yeah,
wise.
yeah,
Yeah, now yeah
he's in the
getting
gym in
bigger.
the lab maybe.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I'm really excited to follow his career now. I mean, yeah.
hey, here's a good one for you, Boz. Dan says who would win, Usyk versus Ernie Shavers?
Well, unless Shavers call Usyk clean, then Usyk wins. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think uh yeah, I think yeah, that's what it will come down to. If Shavers can catch Usyk, which isn't guaranteed, of course. Um yeah, interesting one. Interesting matchup there, Dan. Interesting matchup. Some might say Shavers, you know, given an eye from a resume standpoint, but I don't know. So Shavers, he was able to beat some good guys. Usually lost to those that were some of the better boxers, you know.
He did knock out Ken Norton, but Norton was at the end of his career then. Yeah. And yeah, a few others. I think he knocked out what's his name before Jimmy Ellis. Yeah, that's right. Mm.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Ellis. So yeah, interesting one there, Dan. Good one for sure. Rodolfo says, "Oh yeah, Devin Vargas. He's basically a gatekeeper." Okay, so that's who Franklin's going to be taking
Yeah,
on.
right.
Little gatekeeper there. Then you have Rosansky Okoli. So Okoli is making his uh, debut at heavyweight there, Boz. He's finally
All
moved
right.
up, giving up on cruiserweight dreams, and he's going to be taking on a Polish, I believe he's a Polish fighter.
Yeah.
Rosansky is going to be his heavyweight debut. Well, it's they're at 224. I think it's actually Bridger weight. So, but technically heavyweight still. What do you think of there? Okoli at heavyweight.
I don't know.
Gonna be interesting, right?
Yeah, but probably more of a natural division for him now. Yeah, he was always kind of a little too tall, too big for a cruiserweight, you might say.
Mm-hmm.
And he does have, he hits hard enough. So when he when he connects, the problem was, when he was a cruiserweight champion, he didn't always connect, and to enough to knock out the opponent. So it then turned into a stinking fight.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, certainly. And then
mm,
Boz, there, the big fight of the weekend, of course, that Saturday is going to be return bout between Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall
oh yeah, right.
going down in Leeds.
Wow,
Controversy in the
like
first fight, of course.
neutral territory.
Yep.
Yeah,
So controversy in the first fight there, Bob. We all know that there were many who thought Catterall got the victory. Hey, since
yeah,
that time, Josh Taylor, hey, hasn't necessarily looked any much better, I would say, from an overall
Yeah,
standpoint. So what do you
I
think
hope
here?
I hope he can win. I mean, this time for real, because I don't like Carroll. That's first first thing. I don't like him, and second, he knows he's better. Taylor is better, but he just didn't fight that night, first fight, and yeah, he needs to be in the right mindset, and when he is, he can pretty much beat anyone. I would say almost anyone, anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
so
If
but
Taylor
that has
doesn't
been
look
the
good,
problem. Yeah, that
yeah,
has
if it
been
doesn't look good, that's an interesting spot he'll find himself in for sure.
yeah. I guess it was when he became the undisputed champion. He got too content, and
Yeah,
when you get too content, then it's then that you start to lose your sharpness as a fighter. You lose the hunger. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, interesting that when they're about. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, who we'll see here. You could argue either way for as far as both fighters. Of course, the more battle tested being Taylor. So it'll
yeah,
be interesting to see how he looks there for sure. Then there are a couple other solid matchups on that card, and then we have Christian Mbili on this same night as well on a ESPN card. I'm guessing top rank. Then he's gonna be taking on Zach Heffron, UK fighter there
yeah.
in a contest that should be interesting. And Makhmadov is gonna be making a return as well.
Oh, the beast.
The beast. See if he can regain that steam.
Yeah, he didn't look good against Caballero. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
in return. Yeah, but I don't think so. He's kind of limited. Yeah, yeah. But
I know that if I were going up against him, body,
mm,
that's all I would say.
that's
Body.
tough, especially for guys who are very tall. When you start breaking them to the body, they're everything they just collapse. Because they are so tall.
hmm
Yeah,
hmm
have a problem with balance because of that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, certainly, certainly. But y'all, good stuff right there. So yeah, those are the big ones for the weekend. Here as we wrap up things there. Yeah, you just said Shavers blast Usyk ass into oblivion, guys. Come on. He thinks it's all Ernie Shavers there.
I don't think so. Usyk, first of all, has a really good chin, and other for the second thing, I don't think Shavers could really catch him that easily with a really big punch. So yeah.
Yeah, interesting there.
Mm.
Interesting there. Vibes. And Dan says Shavers would catch him by 3 rounds. Good night.
Yeah, like Alexander says, Quarry did
Oh
stop
yeah.
Shavers in one round. Even I mean, that was
Yeah, hey, that stuff has to be factored in for sure there. Good point, Alex. Yeah, so hey, Usyk, hey, I think he hold his own there against Shavers.
oh yeah,
And Rodolfo Rivera
Shavers
says
would shave
Makmadov,
him.
Jared Anderson. What was that,
Yeah.
boss?
I was gonna say Shavers would not shave him, shave him with that punch.
Got you. Yeah, and Makmadov versus Jared Anderson says Rodolfo Rivera Jr. Hey, bring it on. Bring it on. Why not?
Why not? Why not?
It seemed like they were going to be heading towards that path at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe. Dan says, imagine how Edge Charles would beat Usyk like a rug. A very interesting one
Isaac
right there.
was too small, maybe at cruiserweight, but as heavyweight, he will never fight today. He will never been allowed to fight. He
It
weighed
wouldn't
in
be a
like
huge heavyweight, but
185 maybe or something, not more than that. If even that much, I don't know if he weighed it. Yeah,
yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah, of course,
it was
Ezra. Yeah, when you think about where he rates, yeah, definitely the better boxer
yeah.
overall in the
Well,
rankings
yeah,
and all that
of
stuff.
course. I mean, he was, yeah, technically better.
Yeah, so no, I'm with you there. Yeah, Ezra's man, a beast. Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
he could do some things. Rodolfo said he's going with Shavers. All right, there, Rodolfo. Flack says Ezra at his best was insanely skilled. Almost nobody could trade shots with him, but the size would be a lot to deal with. Certainly. I'm with you there. Ezra certainly rates higher. The size would be something for sure to factor in. Um, of course, Ezra probably best in that light heavyweight range. We got to think that Ezra, he was fighting that
Yeah,
middleweight.
he was best. Yeah, there. Yeah,
And he's
light
got a
heavy.
lot of top level names on his resume. So no doubt about it. Ezra Char, one of the most underrated that is out there, when you think about those historic names that are mentioned for sure.
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah. Dan says Shavers in the toughest era ever, 80 KOs. Usyk is bum era, 14 KOs.
No, I don't think he had 80. He had like 68, I believe. I read, yeah, something like
Come on there. Come on there, Dan. Come on there, Dan. Usyk, hey, put in some work. Gotta give it to him.
This is no bomb era, man. I mean, back when, when
Mhm.
Shavers fought, it was a good era, but still, yeah,
Uh,
he
Eda
fought.
says, "Hey guys, do you think Usyk can take one to the body from Caballero? Interesting one. That's an interesting fight.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll get to see that. Who knows?
Yeah. That would be an interesting one. I would say. He'd
Yeah,
have
he's
to.
all right.
There'll be Larry.
He was a cruiserweight. There's a difference, It's the same as
Yeah,
I like how people were calling Evander Holyfield a blown up light heavyweight. He was only a light heavyweight as the amateur. He was a
yeah,
cruiserweight. There's a difference, as a pro
yeah.
first.
Certainly a little bit bigger there. As
Yeah,
far as
and
that's concerned.
that used to be also in a part of the heavyweight division some way back, the cruiserweight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Usyk came into this contest with Fury. I believe it's 233, so he put on a bit more size or weight, you could say.
yeah,
Uh, Black Boxing says the way people think Usyk counters and lands on people, Ezra was actually doing that with insane power, speed, and accuracy. Certainly, there, Flack. Certainly, certainly that's the case. Dan Usyk was a middleweight not that long ago. Yeah, in the amateur world, he was. He did fight Sean Porter.
yeah. That was amazing. I couldn't believe it. When I read about it.
So yeah, he's not overly huge
But
in that sense.
I
Those
think that was at 165 or something. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Sean Porter lost a lot of weight as a pro, man. What the hell happened to
Oh
him? I
yeah, he
don't know.
did. Yeah, I think he was playing football. He probably had some bulk and all that stuff and
Oh
dropped
yeah,
some weight.
right.
And
So he lost that ball.
yeah, Rodolfo says Dan would never lie. Of course, El Gato Rivera, good stuff. But yeah, Shaver 70 kills. I just looked it up. Oh, not bad. Usyk 14. Yeah, so he's had to box. He got the box there, Dan.
70.
He certainly had to
Man,
box.
Shavers Stan. How do you call it?
Mhm.
Okay, forget Ernie Shavers. He was just a big puncher. That's all he was. Come on.
Yeah.
He was destroyed by like almost every elite level heavyweight. Come on. Even what's his name? Ron Lyle. He knocked him out. So come
Oh
on.
yeah, Ron
It's
Lyle, tough
pretty
mother, tough
funny.
cookie there. Yeah, so no, you make some good points there, Boz. Shavers versus Jack Dempsey, interesting one right there. But yeah, we won't dive too deep into that. But no, this is good stuff there. So yeah, hey, this is good stuff. We've been going an hour 18 here. We appreciate everyone dropping by for sure. Undisputed world heavyweight champion Oleksandr Usyk, the man right there. So shout out to Usyk becoming the first to do such. And hey, this has been a great chat. A lot of good discussion. We got in some history discussion. More of that to come. Hey, be sure to check out that interview with Mark Allen Baker on Johnny Kilbane, folks. It's on the channel. It's a good one. Be sure to go subscribe to Boz's channel as well, because you'll get some great content over there on Boz's side. I believe it's. I know you change your name there at times, there, Boz. So,
Yeah,
what
well,
is the new
it's
one?
always Boz still. That part remains.
Okay.
See,
So you'll find them. You'll find them, and I'll try to tag them in the
yeah,
title there. But go check them out for sure. Yeah, this has
Boz
been a great
Cobra.
one.
No,
Boz
Boz Cobra.
Cobra. Boz Cobra. That Cobra
Think I
Strike.
will
And then, of
stick
course,
with
check out
that
the
for
Boxing Haven on Facebook.
that.
And yeah, we thank you. We thank you all for coming in real quick. Dipsy with Duck Shavers like he did. Vinny Black Fighters. Good one there. Edith, it'd be interesting. Then you had Lyle out, then they gave him a hometown count. And Lyle, who is awesome, KO'd Ernie. yeah. Gotcha. Vaz Cobra, I think. The Cobra there, Rodolfo Rivera. But no, good stuff there, folks. Hey, appreciate every single one of you dropping in. Hey, we'll be back maybe next week.
Yep.
We'll try to be back. Try to be back for sure. Miles versus Shaver, got to watch one of the greatest. Hey, maybe we can all do that there, folks. But thank you, Boz. Thank you all.
See you all. Thank you.
Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your week.